Hope you're well. Finally, Kavar is out. I really hope you get lucky and pull him early. I don't have basically any pity for on my debut banner. I do have some soft pity. 29 pulls. So hopefully we get lucky there. You see, I've got a terrible rate as well. But let's go. Gacha responsibly. Make sure I'm on the right banner. Okay, I'm definitely going for the Emperor. If I can just find him. Ah, there we go. The Emperor. Let's go. Okay, not off to a good start, yeah. The Emperor again. This is going to be 20. Okay. And now we should get something over here. Awesome.
私がここにいるのはお前のせいか気にすることはない。人は誰しも騎士にも駒にもなりうるものだ。教えてくれ。お前はどんな力と戦い、そしてどんな均衡を求めているんだ。
Alright, so I'm really happy. Got him quickly. So yeah. Just get in and out, you know. So now that I pulled him early, I'm gonna go and pull his astral weapon. Also because we might get Luvita next. So for me, personally, that's a skip. I'm not saying you should skip her. But yeah, so now it's a nice break now that we're finally done with this crazy schedule. So I'm definitely gonna pull on some of these, on the Nightmare Puppet, which is his signature weapon. So I think I'm gonna go for like 30 pulls on this. Let me just check here. Featured Astral Gear guaranteed within 50 summons. I'm not gonna go that high. I've never pulled on gear before. But because it's Kvare, I'll go for it. Man, it feels like such a waste pulling for gear, but anyway, it is Kvare, so... Okay, and the Emperor again. He's kind of holding the Nightmare Puppet there. Okay, that was a waste. So about 20 more. Alright, we got something. I really hope it's the Nightmare Puppet. Don't need any of that. Okay, that's lame. Let's try another 10. Okay, got something again. Yeah. Alright, I got a 1. Okay, I think I'll just settle for 1. Yeah, so I still got a bit of luck side left, and I can work with that. I think I'll settle for one, and then the rest, I'll try and star him up with my, what do you call those things? Astral shards? Man, that cat is so annoying. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to get a few of these, a few hundreds of these every month. So when the I think it's series 2 astral gear comes out, then I will be pulling on Kavare's gear. I think you can get Safia's weapon in that gear as well. It's quite a good pack, so I'll be pulling on that. Yeah, so there's no need to spend too much luck sight on astral gear, because we will be getting astral shards. Also, we will be getting free astral shards every now and then on events. Yeah, so alright, so I'm really happy to do the business, just get in and out. Finally can have kind of a break now. So we'll take a look at Kvare. So I do have a in-depth look at Kvare, a video on that, so definitely check that out if you haven't checked it out. I'll leave a link to that at the end of this video. But I'll just quickly go over some of these things here as well. Let's get him to level 60. I'm one step closer to the place I am aiming for. So, let's just go over his skills. Definitely you go for Will of Victory. This is where you get those 6 moves, I think. 6 in 1. A nice instant. So you need wisdom and the means in order to obtain victory, he says. I'm one step closer to the place I am aiming for. Okay, and then next, we have Victory Before Battle and Kavare's Gift. So, neither of these I would actually use for my skill slots. But Victory Before Battle is good. Each time one enemy with roster or this hit list of his gets defeated, you recover 20% of his HP, 1 energy, and gains 2 random level 2 buffs. Yeah, so also, as Kvare stars up, I think he will retrieve more energy and things. So this might become less valuable, but I still think this is the better one to go for in the beginning. Kavare's Gift is really strong, but it can only be used once per battle. And that's kind of the problem. It's very situational. I've used this on my other account. I've used this to get past really difficult missions where you can just shut down one enemy, because this will stun an enemy. And Kvare moves like very fast. He's a very fast unit, so he usually moves before everyone else. So you can stun one enemy and then you burst down the enemy. So I might come back and Castalia this if I ever needed that. But for now I might just go for that. I'm gonna think about it for a while because I only have 5 Castalia. Right, and then for this one I'm gonna Castalia both of these because I want this attack plus 3%. I want that, so he'll be getting 6% attack up here, and if his magic attack goes up, then all of his he's gonna be doing more damage on like all of his skills with with his piercing damage. So entrapping, I'll also use this as my reaction skill. When hit by an active attack, the damage taken is decreased by 8% and steals 2 random attribute buffs from the target. So that's really cool that you get to take away buffs from the enemy as well as give it to Kvare. Sanctuary Emblem. This one is situational because you have to be hit by an AoE attack, and then you will grant allies within 2 tiles of Kavar a shield of the corresponding damage type. The shield value equals 30% of the caster's HP, which means HP is something you want to increase on Kvare if you want to use this reaction skill, because this will scale with his HP. And that shield lasts for 2 turns. It can be triggered. The shield of each type can be triggered up to 1 time per battle. And when you have a shield, I'm guessing it's Kvare has a shield. I'm not sure if it's other characters as well, maybe. Damage taken is reduced by 10%. So I have no problem investing Castalias on Kvare because he's just so future-proof. But you know, we never know because the meta is always changing, and that's the thing about it, it's always unknown. Nobody knows really. And then next I'll go for Arcane Toxins. You get 3 random level 2 debuffs on the enemy. Which is I think this is also on Karis. And it's actually very useful to beat bosses with. Now, there is a debate on which one of these to choose for his basic attack. Over here you get 1 stack of infection, which it is only 1 stack of infection. It's not really gonna be that crazy. On this one you do get the extra HP. So if you're choosing that reaction for the shields, I would recommend choosing this one just for the HP. Otherwise you take silencing attack, which inflicts no active skills on the target for 2 turns. But yeah, but also like I'm gonna show you also like how Kvare plays with Momo. So Momo is going to increase the amount of damage over time enemies receive. So you may want to keep that in mind as well when you are thinking of Kvare, because if he does do more damage over time to the enemy, it's all going to be multiplied with Momo's trait. But again, I'm going to think about this one again. There's no rush, like Kvare would say. And then over at rank 11, just gonna activate both of these. Like I explained in my video, this skill just powers up. Wither is going to power up his ultimate. So this is the moment for rain. Interesting translation. Yeah, so this is his big one. Big AoE, very big range. Piercing damage to all enemies within 6 tiles. Removes all damage over time on the targets if the target has the roster or list. Additionally inflicts all of these things on the enemy. Piercing vulnerability is great. If they have the list, they're going to take 20% more piercing damage for 2 turns, and triggers and removes the roster on the target after attacking. But then when you use this skill, the skill, this is the moment for rain, no longer removes damage over time effects, but increases damage by 100%. When actively dealing damage with a non-instant skill, additionally inflicts 60% of magic attack as life loss on the target for 1 turn. So personally, this is my kind of standard build. Well, I didn't actually choose the skills, but I would choose also Conviction is the skill he comes with. For me, this is kind of like a smaller version of his ultimate, but it's not exactly the same. But anyway, I'll choose This is the Moment for Rain of his ultimate, and Wither to power up his ultimate, and then I would go for Will of Victory, because this is 6 skills in one. This is kind of my standard build for him, and then depending on the map and the situation, I would switch out some other skills for Kvare, but usually I don't switch out much. I mean, it depends on the map. For gear, luckily I got this Nightmare Puppet. This is for him, it's made for him. It's going to increase his magic attack, which is going to increase all of his piercing damage and his HP. And his HP scales up the shields if you go for shields. After dealing damage, inflicts 1 level 1 debuff on the target. If using a debuff's skill, the effect changes. After attacking, inflicts 1 random level 2 debuff. And Nightmare Puppet for 2 turns. So Nightmare Puppet is going to increase piercing damage taken by 5%. And if you go up to 5 stars, it's going to increase his magic attack and HP by 10%. Still deals 1 level random 1 debuff. And then it's going to inflict Nightmare Puppet 3, which will increase piercing damage taken by 15%. What was star 1? Only 5%. Yeah, so maxing this is going to be nice. And then for his trinket, I mean, Hourglass is going to give him more magic attack, which is great. You want to get something that gives him more magic attack. Or HP, if you're going for those shields, or his bulkiness. Yeah, I mean, this is the only option, like viable option I seem to have here. And another one could be the Blood Luxite Amulet. It's going to increase magic attack as well, magic damage. At 5 stars, if you have a 5-star Blood Luxite Amulet, it increases his magic damage to 10%. And magic AoE damage by 20%. I don't think he gets this buff for his AoE. I'm not 100% sure. If somebody knows, it'd be great if you could let us know. But I think you're definitely gonna get that magic, that 10% magic damage there. So yeah, I'll go for this one. Also because you get immunity against move down and speed down. And then for the tarot, I mean, almost everyone runs the Devil Tarot. I don't use that tarot personally, so there are other options. I do like to run the... What is it? I do like to run Redemption of the Judgment. At the end of the turn, dispel 2 buffs from 1 random enemy within 2 tiles around the character. Although you don't want to get him too close to the enemy. This can be helpful sometimes. Or, I think the most important thing for me about tarots is just getting a good roll and getting his magic attack up as much as possible. You could also use the Magician to increase his ultimate's power. For each enemy hit, he's going to hit a bunch of enemies. So you can get some more damage on the Magician. I might run the Magician actually. But yeah, I'll play around with this and see what works. So, with Kvare, in terms of units that he works well with, Momo synergizes well with him because of her trait. All enemies within 4 tiles of Momo take 35% more damage over time. So this is that life loss that Kavar is going to inflict on like everybody at the end of Momo's turn. Okay, so yeah, that 35% more damage over time is there you go. Kavar is going to inflict this life loss on enemies. Also infection if you choose that other basic attack, just 1 stack. But if he is working with Momo, you could consider maybe stacking more infection with Momo. Yeah, but that life loss is going to really benefit with Momo. And other units that Kvare works well with would probably be Agatha. I don't have Agatha, but I think she does a skill where she's going to increase the amount of piercing damage. It's like piercing damage vulnerability that she inflicts on the enemy. So that would work well with Kvare as well. He does have piercing damage vulnerability in his own kit, which comes with his ultimate. Piercing vulnerable 2. But having Agatha give him that extra piercing vulnerability will help a lot as well. Anyway, let's just take a look at how he plays with Momo. So here is the gear I'll be using. Obviously Nightmare Puppet, Hourglass, and I'm going to go for the Magician, Dream of the Magician. So for his AoE, I'm pretty sure this is going to increase the damage as he hits a lot of enemies. That's nice, but I'm mostly choosing it because I want these magic attack increases of 9%, 6%, 9%. So just stacking that magic attack up, you know, to increase that piercing damage. And then for resonance, I'm not going to do resonance now, but just for the sake of convenience, making switching gear between units easier. I have mostly Sword and Wand on a lot of my units, so sticking to that is going to be great for Kvare as well. It really helps him a lot as well. I can't think of one that's better than this at the moment, but I think this is best for him. But again, that could be situational. There could be other ways of playing him as well, but this is a safe go-to for me. So yeah, let's get into the battle. Okay, so let's take a look at how they perform. I'm first going to show you what Kvare does on his own, and then I'll show you how his damage over time increases with Momo. So I'll bring him over here, and we will put him on his list. Okay, so what did that do to the boss? He currently has, now he's on the list. And he's got 30% life loss. Take note of that. And then I will do Kavare's ultimate. Okay, so what did that do to the boss? Now if you look at the boss, he's got 30% life loss. Okay, we know about that. He's also, because of the ultimate and the both the second rank 11 skill, he's got 60% life loss as well. And he's got another 30% life loss. Okay. So now we're going to see how much damage he takes from that 60% life loss, the 30% life loss, and the other 30% life loss. Okay. So it's really hard to see the numbers there when life loss inflicts, especially when it's life loss is when there's multiple life losses on an enemy. So he does 1,313 life loss. He does another 1,313 life loss, and then he does 2,628 life loss. If I'm looking at the numbers correctly there. Now we're going to check how he does with Momo. So I'm just going to backtrack here. And I'm gonna move her close to the enemy. And so remember, if she's close to the enemy, I don't know, trait. She's gonna do 35%, or sorry, if she's close to the enemy, 4 tiles within the enemy is gonna take 35% more damage over time. So that 30%, that 30%, and the other 60% is gonna increase by 35%, or it should. But just take note, this Momo is on 5 stars, so I'm not sure if it's gonna be that high if she's lower stars. Okay, so let's see how much it takes now. Okay, so now the damage went up to, instead of 1313 damage, he's taking 1773 damage. Another 1773 damage, and instead of 2628 damage from the 60%, he's taking 3547 damage. So yeah, that's how Momo helps Kvare. Unfortunately, I don't have a Gartha, so I won't be able to tell like how that. It would be cool to see how all of them work together, Gartha, Momo, and Kvare. Yeah, but that's pretty much it, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.